Nickmercs yesterday hit us with some truth that he's actually talked about a lot in the past, that being about Fortnite kids, up-and-coming Fortnite pros. As many of you guys are well aware, as young as 13, 14, 15, teenagers out there that are pros in Fortnite, making a good chunk of change compared to a lot of other esports out there. Nickmercs has talked about this before in the past, but dropping just a lot of knowledge out there for any future pros as well who are even in or outside of Fortnite as to the fact that Fortnite kids, they are spoiled. And I do agree with him, although I will talk both sides for all of you guys. Here is Nick's semi-hot take on Fortnite pros and kids being completely spoiled.
It's fault, these keyboard and mouse players, these young Fortnite pros, man. It's not their fault, really. Like, you can't hard blame them. You can kind of blame them. Like, you can give them a little bit bragging so stupid all the time. But you can't get super angry. You want to know why? Because, bro, they don't know better, man. Bro, they don't know about playing for breadcrumbs, man. They have no idea. None of them ever did it. They never played for anything but billions of dollars, man. Moan and cry and whine all day. Now again, man, you can't blame them too hard because that's all they know. That's all they're used to, man. They're spoiled. They're completely spoiled, bro. Guys, for the rest of time, the Fortnite community will always, and not Fortnite, but just any like younger, newer game community, they're always gonna be full of little complaining little man. All of them. And it's hard to blame them because, like I said, that's all they know. They don't know better. I'm sitting here arguing with like little 12-year-olds on Twitter, man, with anime abbeys who have like no grasp of how things actually work. Like they have no idea. I don't even know why I waste my time. I really don't. Because they really have no clue how things work. They just know Fortnite and how it's been.
And all of this, by the way, in light of complaints out there because of FNCS Season 2, if you guys don't follow, a large amount of prize pools for a lot of placements throughout this entire, several-week process for Fortnite. The only event they really have announced this year besides DreamHack Anaheim, of course, we steadily await the Fortnite World Cup 2 as well, but it's just facts. I know you guys can hate all you want. You guys can leave your arguments down below, but it's just simply true. Compared to most esports, these up-and-coming Fortnite pro players are truly spoiled, especially when you look back to a time where Nick was competing heavily, where there was no prize money at all. You go to events to make less than 4 figures. Yes, that's less than $1,000. You travel, you pay for hotel, you pay for food, and if you win, you might be making a couple $100 at most in the weekend, and that's after, of course, investing all that time on top of the cash you have to pay to get there. It simply makes a lot of sense, especially when you compare it to the Fortnite World Cup #1, a $30 million World Cup, not to mention surrounding weeks, all in all, around $60 million in the event. By the way, we have Fortnite just after 2 years of launch, equal prize pools given out of a top 5 esport. They've been around for 2 years and so far given out as much money as many of the top games ever that have been around for at least a decade. Counter-Strike, League of Legends, the likes of those games, Dota on top of that. Fortnite is already competing in prize pools. It's a fact that up-and-coming Fortnite pro players have more access to the availability to actually win more money than any other up-and-coming esport pro ever will. I come from the Counter-Strike scene. You have the ESCAs, the FPL pros out there. They maybe, if they actually win a lot, actually compete a lot, and actually do every single thing they can to earn money on ESCA and face it, can come away with a couple $1,000 a month if they are at the top level. Not to mention competing in CSGO, you have to be one of the top players on a top team to actually come away and make a decent living. The semi-pro, the tier 2 scene of CSGO is making less than the Fortnite pros out there who are buying themselves houses, who are paying off their mother's tuition at the ripe age of 15 or 18 or 21 years old. It is just simply facts, especially even further that you compare this to other battle royales out there, it's not even close. PUBG kind of doing their own thing. Yes, they might have a few prize pools here and there. PUBG Mobile doing very well. They just now announced this year $5 million in prize pool funding for PUBG Mobile. And again, PUBG, its separate game, is also doing decent things. You look at other battle royales out there that are really competing, there's not much besides the old Blackout, and we all know how Blackout did. I believe Blackout maybe had a handful of events. The biggest one I saw was $50,000 over in the UK only. So to compare Fortnite to anything else, it's just not in the same ballpark. Nick obviously makes sure to mention several times, though, these kids, very lastly, they don't know any better, right? They are so underage, so underdeveloped. I guarantee you guys 5 years from now, all the Fortnite pros who are earning thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, some of them even millions of dollars will look back and say, wow, I was so lucky to have Fortnite because no other game is doing this. Nickmercs obviously means well. I don't think anyone's going to be offended by this. It's not a ninja hot take. It's not too controversial, and it's not really too debatable. Esports nowadays, especially if you're going to call Fortnite an esport, Fortnite, the cash prizes, the prize pools they offer are not comparable to any other esports, especially when you look back to esports 5-10 years ago when Nickmercs was heavily competing. It's just not even close. The opportunities that young pro players out there, teenagers watching right now have are more than ever, and I can only hope that other esports also continue to bolster this and actually flood the scene with, opportunities as well. But Fortnite has done a great job. They have not done a great job as an esport. They've done a great job as a competitive / casual game, offering a huge sum of money to up-and-coming players who are very young that other esports just can't keep up with. We have Valve out there with CSGO. Valve gives out a couple $1 million a year in total for 2 separate majors. Epic Games in their first year and a half, gave out $60 million alone around one event. It's just, there's no comparison. It's insane. I wish all these up-and-coming pros the best of luck, though. God forbid they ever switch to a different game and find out, whoa, I'm pretty lucky to have Fortnite. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy breaking down esports gaming news every single day, all day long. If you guys got a story, my DMs are always open. Until then, drink your coffee, drink your water, stay hydrated. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.